The federal government has signed Aso Accord for economic and financial inclusion with state governments and stakeholders in the private sector to deliver financial services at affordable costs to all Nigerians. The accord was signed during a two-day workshop for economic and financial inclusion held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The event was organized by the Office of the Technical Advisor to the President on Financial Inclusion, Office of the Vice President. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, and Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, signed the Accord Pact on behalf of the federal government, while the Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak of Kwara, signed the accord on behalf of the state, and the Managing Director of Sterling Bank plc, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, signed on behalf of the private sector. Declaring the workshop open, Shettima demanded a renewed commitment from state governors and other key players in the nation's economic and financial inclusion space to forge a more inclusion and prosperous future for all Nigerians. He said that President Bola Tinubu's commitment to inclusive economic growth and sustainable development had been unmistakable.
I stand here today compelled to express my heartfelt commendation to all the esteemed individuals who have been pivotal in advancing the cause of financial inclusion in Nigeria. From the present and past governors of the Central Bank, I want to thank the unwavering dedication of the Federal Ministry of Finance. Each of you has played an indispensable role in championing this noble cause over the years. It is incumbent upon us as stewards of progress to recommit ourselves to the pursuit of enhancing financial and economic inclusion across our nation. In recognition of this imperative, I am proud to announce that part of our agenda today involves the signing of the Aso Accord for economic and financial inclusion. This accord will symbolize a renewed and active commitment from all leaders in the economic and financial inclusion space, affirming our collective resolve to forge a more inclusive and prosperous future for every Nigerian.
Earlier, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Hassan Hadeja, said expectations are high as stakeholders are expected to, among other things, intercept the rising gender gap in financial inclusion.
The charge by the President to this gathering is therefore simple. No one should be left behind. I thank you all once again and hope you have a wonderful program.
The 14th Emir of Kano and former CBN Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi emphasized the need for a review of strategies for enhancing financial inclusion and literacy across the country.
From the members of this forum and the workshop, those who have been invited, I have no doubt that we have all the brain power we need to look at these things, see where we are, where we're coming from, design a roadmap, and have a structure that would help us implement. But the reality is, if we don't deal with economic and financial inclusion, we will not deal with many issues, including security. Everything you see from banditry to herdsmen-farmer clashes, all of that can be addressed largely through economic and financial inclusion. So this is central to development, it's central to politics, it's central to our very existence as a nation, and something I'm very passionate about.
Ondo State Governor advocated the adoption and deployment of technology to boost the digital environment to strengthen access to financial services in rural communities.
Because when you talk about financial inclusion, financial and economic inclusion for Nigeria, it's not just about Abuja, the federal capital. It includes all the subnationals, all the states.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy said financial inclusion was an integral element of the renewed hope agenda of Tinubu's administration.
So I hope at the end of this workshop, one of the things that we commit ourselves to in order that we can alleviate the pains of adjustments, the pains of reform immediately, is that we commit to making sure we have 100% financial inclusion as far as payments are concerned.
Representative of the CBN Governor, Dr. Clement Boari, who is the bank's Director of Strategy Management, said the Apex Bank was doing a lot to accelerate financial inclusion across the country.
We will continue to drive collaboration and collective action necessary to fulfill the objectives set out in the financial inclusion strategy, and we look forward to accelerating 95% financial inclusion by the end of 2024.